He's so cool.
Who is so cool?
Chris Pratt, according to Miyamoto. That's what he said. Christopher Pratt is so damn cool.
You know, I completely forgot that those were the exact adjectives he used to describe Chris Pratt. I mean, can you blame him, though? I mean, have you seen the guy?
I mean, at that point, just slap it in your Twitter bio.
Welcome back to Three Bros One Switch podcast. We're just going to jump right into this, guys. We have new Nintendo content. That's the only reason why we get around to talk in the first place. We only do new stuff. We don't talk about what's in the past. We talk about what's coming in the future.
The past doesn't matter here.
No.
Just like Nintendo, we'll give you maybe 1 or 2 good things a year for you to enjoy. And then, please just keep going back to our old episodes, listening to them again and again and again and again, hoping that someday there'll be a new good one for you to enjoy, to rekindle those emotions.
We'll give you the new content. But we'll also sprinkle in some old content. But the thing is, you have to pay an extra $60 for it.
Yeah, so we're actually going to upgrade the sound quality on our old episodes and charge $60 a piece for you to listen to them. It's going to be so cool, guys. Actually, we're going to take out a 5-minute chunk in the middle of the episode. And in order to access that, you need to buy little amiibo figures of us that are going to be $40 a piece to access that 5-minute section.
Do you know how much I would kill for a $40 amiibo figure of Tyler? That would be like the ultimate collector's item.
So yeah, I mean, if you haven't listened before, I guess we should tell you our names.
No, we don't have to do that. We'll do that at the end, like Mr. Sunday Movies. I would just like to apologize in advance if the audio sounds a little bit off. We were having complications with our third mic, so Jacob and Tyler, the lovebirds that they are, they're sharing a mic of their own, and if it sounds wonky, blame Blue Microphones, Sky Blue, whatever the company that manufactured Tyler's microphone. Snowball, because they didn't know how to properly manufacture an adapter that could withstand life. But as we mentioned before, Nintendo gave us news about titles and stuff, both video game and movie. And as soon as it released, I immediately texted these two, and I'm like, emergency podcast meeting right now.
And that podcast was to discuss the fact that they added Bluetooth headset options on the Switch, right?
That's the only reason why. That's the only reason why we're here. This is going to be like a 10-minute episode.
So guys, my Bluetooth earbuds can hook up to the Switch now. That's so cool. Thank you, Nintendo. Thank you.
Yeah, a little bit. I think this is better late than ever. It does give me hope that the Switch is going to continue to get a lot of updates and it's going to continue to last. Like, especially like the titles that they've revealed in this Direct, both like previously and now, just gives me high hopes that the Switch is going to last a lot longer than I was anticipating it.
And get themes, right? Dom, say I'm right.
I really want to, man.
Please.
I really wish I could.
Well, I guess the first thing I could ask both of you was Nintendo Directs, like normal, come out of nowhere. What were your reactions to just casually saying, hey, tomorrow we get new Nintendo content?
I mean, the only thing that really came to my head was, what's the last Smash Fighter going to be?
Same.
But then we didn't even get that.
Do you really think
But
they
it's
would just
coming.
like save it for a Direct? I mean, Sakurai always does something special for the last
I
year.
mean, it is Nintendo. We're
It is
talking about here.
Nintendo.
To be honest, my first thought was, the past couple Directs haven't actually been that great. I hope we get good stuff. And
I think
guess-
they listened to you.
I guess we'll see how we feel about that, but I am going to be more positive, I promise.
I'm going to be completely honest. The only reason why I called an emergency meeting was because I thought this was like the best Direct that in a long time totally like knocked E3 out of the park.
So you're not going to bring up the fact that you just said you just called an emergency meeting?
Frank.
Back when the last Nintendo Direct released, that kind of meme would have still been relevant. Like,
Yeah.
That's how long ago.
Yeah. And we're still making them today.
We're growing up, boys.
Jacob, biggest highlight of the Direct for you?
Single, or like I can point out a couple things.
Single. Let's just go single. Like what stood Michael Scott's, out of all the idiots, you stand alone. What stood alone in this Nintendo Direct?
Kirby.
Kirby?
Because I would say Splatoon, but we've already seen a lot of the Splatoon stuff. The Kirby came out of nowhere, and that's by far the game that I'm most excited for because I think it's taking a new direction. Or a direction that happened on the N64 and they haven't picked up since. And then
I was about to say, I almost said that this was the first 3D Kirby, but I know we've gotten 3D Kirbys before.
yeah,
Right?
Crystal Shards on N64, I believe.
Well, that was still technically a platformer.
But like
a
it's
2D platformer.
well, but it has the 3D perspective, right?
Okay, yeah.
Like it's still like it's not open world or open level kind of like this Kirby is, but it's not completely side scrolling like most Kirby games are.
Here's the really cool thing about this Kirby, though. Nintendo has always had plans to make a Kirby like this ever since the GameCube. And there is footage back in like 2003 or 2004 of them doing exactly this, a 3D platforming Kirby game. But every time they wanted to try it, they didn't know where to take it. So this is basically that. We're finally getting that. We're finally getting a proper 3D Kirby. And like that's the reason I'm the most excited. I mean, it's like from the trailer alone, it's Kirby in like a post-apocalyptic world. I mean, you already know like the main villain's gonna be some sort of hellspawn and like go into some deep
3D hellspawn. So wait, do you guys remember what the title of the Kirby game is?
Forgotten Lands.
Okay, because I forgot for a second, and I was, I was like, Kirby, but no, it's Forgotten Lands, which is kind of generic sounding, but like, who cares? It's a good-looking Kirby game. It's 3D. I'm excited.
That was my only gripe against the game was the bland title. I'm like, dude, I could have probably
Kirby and the Forgotten title.
The levels look fantastic. I rewatched the trailer before you guys came over, and to just reinforce how much I love the game, anytime you put any video game characters in a mall, I mean, this worked in Mario Kart Wii with Coconut Mall, and now we have an abandoned mall with Kirby. Like, you can't go wrong.
I think an oddly specific aesthetic.
It's an aesthetic that's actually weirdly common in Nintendo games because between like Mario Kart, Splatoon, I don't know, like they have a knack for like putting you in some like, I don't know, kind of abandoned cityscapes. Like,
yeah.
But I think that those visuals of like huge cities that are completely overgrown and desolate, it's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like it's conveyed in a cool way, and I'm sure there'll be some deep lore behind it about how all of humanity was blighted by God 1,000 years ago or something like that. The consumerism became too much, so they were smitten by lightning from the heavens, and Kirby is the only being left to traverse the lands.
Kirby has to defeat the blood gushing eyeball of death and hell.
Well, that's cool
Kracko.
thing. That's the cool thing.
Did you
guys hear that continuing the themes of, like Hell and Demons from the Kirby games, you actually have to kill God. He's the final boss of this game. Kirby he actually like swallows God, and then he takes God's power by eating him. I think that's
an
cool.
interesting copy ability, but I'm absolutely looking forward to this game. I'm glad that we're getting it in a spring 2022 release. I was expecting it was going to be like Splatoon and be like, oh, this is just like something that they would have capped off at the end of the direct to tease like something like later on next year. But the fact that we're getting it pretty soon, I'm all for it.
It's pretty cool.
That one level that I can only like, the only connection I made to it is it looks like a glow in the dark mini golf place. Have you ever been to Firefly's mini golf at South Park Mall, or any glow in the dark mini golf place ever?
Yeah.
Okay, it one of the levels looked exactly like that. That's the vibe that I was getting.
Maybe I need to rewatch the trailer, but like I remember there was like almost like an abandoned amusement park that looked really cool.
That was the other one. All the levels that they showcased, I'm like, I like you, and you. Yeah.
Oh, it's because they're not doing generic grasslands.
See, here's the thing: is Kirby games are actually pretty consistently good. I feel like yes. Modern Kirby games, except for I think that Star Allies was received it had pretty lukewarm reception. But Planet Robobot, I think, was regarded by a lot of people as one of the best Kirby games. So like,
interesting.
The problem, I love Star Allies, but the problem with it was that it was too short.
Interesting.
But like variety-wise, you could play basically as like any enemy in the game. They did updates where they brought back like old characters and stuff from like older Kirby games. So it's like A++ on fan service for that game. But like all the other Kirby games in like recent years within the last decade have been like spectacular.
What they need to do is give us back the Kirby mech from Robobot, but in 3D. That would be so good.
That would be great.
I think that pretty much caps off our Kirby discussion.
That does. The only other thing I was going to say. What was the only other thing I was going to say? I forgot the only other thing I was going to say. I think
you love Kirby. Kirby's so good.
Yeah, Kirby, you're the one for me.
Yep. Right back at you.
Yeah. Tyler.
Yes.
What stood alone from this Nintendo Direct for you?
I mean, it was Kirby.
Okay.
Like, without a doubt, it was Kirby, but...
we just talked about Kirby, so runner up.
I gotta say the Mario movie.
Yeah. All right, I'm totally down to talk about the Mario movie now because I feel like I'm going to bring a lot of interesting devil's advocate mannerisms to this discussion.
I was going to say, real quick before we moved on from Kirby, I was being kind of pessimistic the day of the Direct. It's grown on me. But I texted, I think it was Tyler, and I said, just like World of Light, Kirby was the only thing that saved it. But I think that there were some other good things too. I think I was being a little harsh, but that was definitely the best part.
Well, actually, before we go to Mario, can we actually talk about the N64 and Genesis games?
Same games, more money, you can't own them. The end.
I love both N64 and the Genesis. I grew up a Sega kid. So when I saw in a group chat, Jake over here was like, "Oh, it's not like interesting or something you said." But at the same time, I was kind of like, "Really? I think people will be more excited for this." Then I read more, and then I saw the price block.
They revealed the price block?
Well, no.
We don't know how much it is, but you have to pay more.
Ape got it.
He thought that they were just adding them like they did the other games, which would have been nice. It would have been cool. It would have been
Smart.
expected, but...
Well, no, you expected Nintendo to actually care for the fans, but they really just care for is your wallet.
I mean, they care for both, but I think they had the dollar sign in their eye is much larger than the fan side of their eye many times. Many times. Many times.
I would agree. So long as we get the entire N64 lineup, I really, for me at this point, it just depends on the price.
So here's the thing. Again, I'm being a little pessimistic, but some people might be like, "Oh wait, it's really cool. We get to play Ocarina of Time, on the go." But 10 years ago, when the 3DS was released, there was a better version of that game made that you could buy for $40 and own entirely and play on a 3DS and bring wherever you wanted. Now they're making us pay yearly or monthly or whatever fees to play the original version of that game on the Switch as a subscription service, and I don't see why that's the route they take.
But Jacob, what about Majora's Mask? That's being made. That has never been also made into a compatible, portable, updated HD system.
Yeah.
Here's another thing.
I love other things.
So I even saw the starting Genesis lineup, and you had some pretty cool games. Like there's a game called Rise Star in there, which is like a pretty obscure Genesis game that I think is really good. But how many times do we need to port Sonic 2? The amount of times I see Sonic 2 ported to everything is insane. And they even have a collection of all the first 4 Sonic games coming out in the future called Sonic Origins, which you can probably get on all consoles. So what is the point of doing this?
Would you consider Sonic 2 like the definitive Sonic game?
Everyone says it's one of the best Sonic games, but it's like they're always porting it to everything and always making a remaster of it.
It's the Skyrim of the Sonic series.
Yes, I would 100% say it's the Skyrim of the Sonic series.
So here's the thing. If they put all of these games individually on the eShop for even like $10 a piece, I would probably buy multiple, but I have no interest in the subscription service. I don't know. I feel like if they're looking for money, they could be making more money by putting them all separately. But they're like, no, you have to subscribe, not own them. And I just don't like
I tell you what. I will get that expansion for one thing only, and his first name is Paper, and his last name is Mario. Because up until this point, I've been professing that I'm like the ultimate Paper Mario fan, but really, like my fandom started with Color Splash, and I haven't even looked at the other games. So this is finally my chance to be an actual fan.
You're missing the first 2. The first 2 Paper Mario games are a must.
And I will absolutely play them.
And you know what's funny?
What?
I used my Nintendo points, or not my Nintendo points, Club Nintendo points,
Oh.
to get the original Paper Mario on the Wii. And if you go to that Wii, I guarantee you the game is still on there because it was redeemed and it's there and it will be on that Wii until the end of time.
Jacob, can I borrow your Wii?
I think that might have been the Wii that I actually gave away like a fool. So.
Bastard.
Yeah. But hey, I can call up the people we gave it to and see if Paper Mario is still on there.
Or
it probably is.
Or we break into their house and steal it.
They might still have my copy of Luigi's Mansion too. So
we need that.
Let's do it.
Revenge.
Okay, here's my little situation, or my little solution, I would say, to make this a little bit better.
Download the games for free on your computer?
I mean, yeah, but we're hush, secret. We're not supposed to say that. But anyways, if it was like a one-time, you still had to pay the monthly fee for Nintendo Online. But if it was like a one-time extra payment you had to make, like $20 to add on the N64 and Genesis games, not extra monthly, just the one-time thing, I would have been fine with that. But the fact that it's adding more to your monthly payment is a little not right. But if This would be a more understandable situation if they were adding GameCube and Dreamcast games. Like, if anything, like.
Yeah, well, just because the N64 ones have been like ported to death on different virtual console and stuff, but.
Need I remind you, we have Super Mario 64, which just came out like 5 months ago in 3D All-Star. Wait, was it 5?
No,
oh
dude,
God,
it's been like a year ago.
It was a year. Oh my God. Oh.
But no, Tyler, it's not on there. The game was erased from existence. Mario is dead.
Even
it's
though
gone.
You can go to Walmart and Target right now, and it's still on the shelves.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think they just like stopped doing the digital copies, right?
Yeah, that was it. They just ended the digital line for some reason.
After Mario's untimely death on March 31st, Nintendo is actually resurrecting him to put him on the N64 version of Super Mario 64
That's
again.
so thoughtful of them.
I know. It's so cool.
Man, it's like they really care about the fans, don't they?
Dude, Nintendo's so generous for going online to emulationparadise.com and downloading these ports for free and just slapping them on the Switch and adding a price tag on them. They're so generous for that.
Thank you, Nintendo. You're so much better off now that Reggie's gone. You know what? I can't even say that jokingly. It feels filthy. I miss you, Reggie.
Yeah.
I miss you.
Tower, get the soap. Why do I feel like they knew what they were doing when they chose Doug Bowser to be Reggie's successor?
Next, Jack Black is going to come across in a Nintendo Direct.
With a saxophone. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, motherfuckers.
But
Transition.
here's the thing: we're talking as if this is like doom and gloom or something, but there was some good stuff on here. We can move on to more positive things.
Yeah, can I talk about my standalone?
Sure.
No.
I know what it's gonna be, and it's the other thing that I was gonna maybe talk about, but Kirby outshined it a little bit. So
I was expecting some Splatoon content, just a little bit, like a taste, like maybe like a little sample. I was expecting a little like gargling ink, you know. None of that, but wow, did we get the pampered treatment with all that Splatoon content? It's honestly kind of overwhelming. I can't like formally collect my thoughts to talk cohesively about everything that they revealed without like just like talking in random spurts. But the story mode looks amazing. I think it's more dynamic than the first 2 games put together.
dude, the one level where it's the cityscape at night, that reminded me of like the Spider-Verse where Miles is jumping off the building, like that like kind of Twilight cityscape. It looks so neat.
Why does it look so cinematic? Because I'm just thinking to myself, like, they never did that with any of the games that I guess now, as games evolve, you can make them look nicer and nicer.
I mean, I really like the story mode from both Splatoons, but hopefully this is, just building on that. Like Octo expansion and stuff, that shit was fantastic. So
It's amazing.
The more that they build on that and the more that they continue with it, I love the Splatoon series. I really do, and I'm so excited. I just hope that they switch it up enough this time. I hope that they don't just like do the same cycle yet again.
Well, I feel like the fuzzy ink, which that is, it's gonna take me a little bit to get used to, because when
Furry
I think furry ink, whatever.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
How should I say? Choices have consequences, and those consequences are carried on. So like the end of Splatoon 2 with like the final Splatfest of Order versus Chaos, Chaos 1, which means that we're set in a post-apocalyptic Mad Max Fury style world, and we have a citizen of that world who her and her little small fry scrapper friend are out like scrapping stuff for like salvaging stuff, whatever, and now like they're thrown into the Squidbeak Brigade, and I think it's amazing that they're continuing the story. It's not like, oh, we're doing something completely different, the old stuff doesn't matter. They're staying true to the story and the continuity that they've established.
I think it's funny that you're like, choices have consequences about a Nintendo shooter about squids. Like, it's funny that the lore of it is so in depth.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is. It's cool, and I really enjoy it. And it is neat how they have the final Splatfest really determine the fate of Inkling Kind, or however you want to say it. So
it really, like, it determines like a pivotal moment of the next installment game. Like, because like the first game, Callie Marie, and then Callie goes missing because she lost the Splatfest, and the story mode is you have to find her.
And I also have to say, did you just say the Squidbeak grenade?
Squidbeak Brigade.
Squidbeak Brigade.
Yes.
Squidbeak Brigade.
Correct. That's the brigade that Agent 1 through 4.
I didn't remember it was called that.
I think that's what it's called.
But Didn't Captain Cuttlefish have like the Squidbeak platoon or something that he was part of, and then it transitions to the Squidbeak Brigade or whatever?
Something like that. But
wait, did you play Splatoon 1?
No, but I watched a lot of content.
I remember unlocking all the like lore bits in that game, and that was one of the highlights. So I think that's what it was from that game. But no, this looks good. The only thing I'm worried about, like I said, I hope it's different enough, because a lot of the levels and a lot of like the weapons and stuff look like they're just the same game continued and added on in little increments, which is fine. But there's got to be like that salmon run type thing that really sets this apart, like a new mode or something that really like makes it a third installment rather than just like 2.5.
Honestly, I would rather, if there's one thing that I hope that they just copy and paste from Splatoon 2, Salmon Run. I hope Salmon Run just returns and they add more levels.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, hopefully they continue that and then maybe do yet another mode. Or something.
That's great. Yeah, that's very great. Seeing Callie Marie confirmed to be in the game is great, but no Pearl and Marina. So I'm wondering, are they continuing being the MCs of Splatsville, or are we going to get new hosts?
I hope we get new ones, but I mean, hopefully, basically what they do is they introduce the new characters, but then they keep the other characters as like, part of the world, even if it's not the same role. So that's neat. I do think it's interesting with the story mode when they're like, the mammalians are invading or whatever they call it. And it's just the tentacles with fur on them. I'm like, I would have thought that maybe for mammalians they would have created like new creature designs.
Yeah.
The like fur on the tentacles, it's a little weird. It looks like carpeting on.
Yeah, I know, like shag carpeting from like the 70s.
Yeah.
Also, they kind of did. I'm sure somebody has probably done freeze frames or like frame by frame, but like the villain was, or whoever was sliding down that giant mech, I swear to God, if it's DJ Octavio.
It looked like Octavio, which is, it's fine if they have him as a boss yet again, but maybe do something more interesting. I mean, hell, like, Octo Expansion had some really interesting, like, developments and new characters and all that kind of stuff. So as long as they switch it up enough, we'll see. I'm really excited for this game. Between this, Kirby, Breath of the Wild 2, and I mean, I'm hoping that maybe the Mario movie's release coincides with like an Odyssey 2 or something next year. I have a feeling that Nintendo has the potential to make kind of a comeback when it comes to good new content next year after what I would consider a drought in the Switch for a while.
I think you're absolutely right. What do you think, Tyler?
Ink game.
No, not just about Splatoon, but just like about like the future for Nintendo over these next couple of years.
I mean, I think things are just gonna go how they are. I mean, nothing really too amazing. I mean, everyone's just expecting stuff like Mario Kart 9 or, as much as I would want that, I mean, I don't feel like we're going to be getting that anytime soon. I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is like the running game right now for the Switch, so I don't think they're going to be...
Here's the thing, though. The biggest game they could possibly release is coming out next year, and that's Breath of the Wild 2. I don't know if there's any release that could really garner as much hype as that would. So I feel like the hype train that's kind of reached a lull here, it has the potential to be in full force mid-year next year, whether they release it around summertime or when they do it. And that might be the energy they need to kind of reinvigorate the Switch's lifespan. I don't know. We'll see.
So I think we kind of covered most of the highlights, but like outside of the Mario movie. But the thing I wanted to do was something that we really didn't do in the past. I'm going to, if you guys don't mind, I'll just read through quickly the other stuff that we didn't cover that's not as big.
No. Wrong.
Well, I'm going to do it anyway.
Wait,
oh my gosh.
Before you start...
I mean, there was more stuff that I wanted to talk about that I could think of like off the top of my head.
Well, I was just going to say they're probably going to be the people that are like, nothing big, Bayonetta 3.
And to that I say, who?
I mean, a lot of people really love Bayonetta, and I've never been attached to the series, but I'm happy for the people that are really excited about this. It seemed like for some people this was, the biggest announcement. They've been waiting on it a while. And I'm glad that it's finally coming for them. I'm glad that, the wait has paid off. Apparently that was a Astral Chain fake out with that dog thing at the beginning.
Yeah. I was like, that's the freaking mascot from Astral Chain.
That was pretty funny. I appreciated that. I think the reveal was well done. I haven't followed the discussion about Bayonetta 3, but I think from what I've heard, people are pretty happy with it. So sweet. I hope they enjoy it. When is it supposed to drop again?
2022.
Next 22.
But like what?
They didn't. They had 2022, and then this mysterious character who I guess is like really big in the franchise, like sliced the date in half, which I thought was going to reveal like a sooner date, but it didn't. And it's just to reveal that ominous character, possible antagonist. Ooh.
2022 is going to be a big year for Nintendo. I just hope they stick the landing.
Quick question, Jacob. I want to know, I just want a glimpse into your sanity. What if Bayonetta 3 situation was subbed in for Breath of the Wild 2? Like, what if they like revealed it in 2017? Wait, did they? No, they didn't. But like, what if they revealed it in 2017 and it took over like almost 4 years for the game to release?
I would hope it's a hell of a game. No, really, like if they take all the time that they need to make Breath of the Wild 2 good, because a rushed game is bad forever. A game that you take, your time on has potential to be amazing. I think that's a quote from one of the famous Nintendo peoples that I'm forgetting right now, but
Peoples.
I'm really hoping it'll come out early next year, but we didn't get word on it this direct, which is fine, because give the attention and highlight to other games. But
Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak expansion pack announced for summer 2022.
See, you didn't let
Be excited. A must-have for every Nintendo Direct. Shove in some Monster Hunter stuff that nobody besides Monster Hunter fans will know. It's just another expansion pack for the 80-some games that are already on the Switch for Monster Hunter.
Another thing that they have to check the box is when you get to like right before the last few announcements of the Direct, and they do a montage with some generic alt-rock song in the background and show a bunch of shovelware games flashing from game to game that nobody cares about. That's another thing that they have fallen into.
Smash Fighter, October 5th, 2021 presentation.
I still think Gino has a chance.
No.
Animal Crossing will get its own Direct in October, and Brewster and the Roost are coming soon.
Can I talk about that real fast?
That's cool. Okay.
Yes, that is very cool. I'm all for it. I'm genuine, and that's literally it. I'm all for it. I can't wait for it.
I was just going to say, again, I'm so pessimistic, but to me it seems like too little too late. Maybe I'll get back into the game because of it, but the lack of significant updates along the way has really kind of dampened my love for it, because it just got monotonous really quickly. I played for hundreds of hours within the first few months, but I just fell off, and there's really been nothing to draw me back. So hopefully this is big enough to do it. I'm really glad that they're adding it, but there were rumors that they would add it like a year ago at least. I wish that they had. But you know what? I'm glad that they're doing it now. Better late than never. So we'll see. Can Animal Crossing make a comeback?
And I say yes, they can.
I completely forgot about this one, so I'm actually kind of excited. Mario Party Superstars.
Yes! Yes!
Sees the return of Woody Woods, Yoshi's Tropical Island, and Horrorland.
Look amazing. They look spec-freaking-tacular.
Isn't this game made for children?
Those boards look absolutely amazing, especially Yoshi's Tropical Island. Seeing Toadette get chopped, I started laughing because that was like the funniest thing ever.
The boards look amazing, but I really hope they expand the roster, like they did
roster
with Super Mario Party. That's my only problem.
Yeah, I don't think they revealed the full roster in the media leading up to the game. It's just they're just gonna be like, oh, more unlockable characters. Cool.
Wait, did they say that?
No, they didn't, but that's what happened with Super Mario Party. I don't remember seeing Pom Pom, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, or Dry Bones as playable characters in the trailer, and then they just showed up as add-ons to the roster once the game released.
Here's what I imagine it's like at Nintendo HQ. They have a little pinwheel, and on it are the names of a bunch of obscure bosses from N64 and GameCube Mario games, or forgotten characters from the past. And each Mario Sports or Party game gets maybe one or two. They just spin the wheel. All right, King Babama's in this one. All right, Monty Mole's in this one. All right. And then those are the characters that they add. Yeah. It would be nice if they have Mario Party Ultimate, where all the obscure ones come back. But
here's what I have to say. Super Mario Party didn't get any updates, didn't get any DLC, no new boards, no new characters.
Well, got that online update, but that was about it.
That was 2 years after the game was released.
Does that qualify?
That does not qualify, and we already have online post at launch. But Nintendo really has a great opportunity to add DLC boards. I think it's perfect. You have 3 games with a lot of boards that you can pick and choose from. Add them. We want them. Nintendo, if you're listening, please. I want to play on boards.
That's why I know it wouldn't make sense at this point, but I really just wish that this game was an expansion to Super Mario Party. Because I would way rather pay, I don't know, $20 to $30 to have something expanded to the game that I actually own, rather than like having to pay a whole new price tag for another game. But maybe I'm just coming at it wrong. You guys are bigger Mario partiers than I am, so I'm glad that you're excited about it. It's just, to me, I feel like I'll be all right with Super Mario Party. But
well, Jacob, you're happy to play with Tower and I with our copies for $20.
Every time you have to play with us, you have to pay $20.
Yep.
Hey, I mean, it's cheaper than Nintendo methods, so.
All right, next up, Star Wars KOTOR, also known as Knights of the Old Republic, will make its way to the Switch this November. This game is from like 2004.
Halfway across the city, Tom is busting a nut as we drop Knights of the Old Republic.
Our friend Tom is super into it.
Even though they're remaking Star Wars KOTOR already.
I mean, hey, why not? Throw every old game in existence on here, especially ones that have huge fan bases like Knights of the Old Republic, and just sell them for reasonable prices. And, I mean, I don't think anybody'd have an issue with it. The more stuff on the Switch, the better, as long as it's not like those mobile phone app games that seem very pervasive in the Nintendo eShop.
Castlevania Advanced Collection brings 4 classic games to the Switch today.
Oh, that's where I dozed off. Yeah, I dozed off at that part in the direct.
ActRaiser Renaissance is a remastered version of the SNES ActRaiser.
See, I don't know why you're bothering like going through these titles because we're not going to talk about them.
We're addressing them so people won't be like, you didn't mention Scrimblow Bimblow, the return of
the Shooper.
Well, no, I would have no, Jacob. I would have happily talked about Scrimblow Bimblow.
Fine. Project Triangle Strategy is now called Triangle Strategy, and will be released in March of 2022.
Didn't they do the same thing with Octopath Traveler? That was like, it was called Project Octopath. They're like, we'll reveal the full title later, and then it's just Octopath Traveler. It's like, okay.
Hey man, you do you.
Metroid Dread gets an extended story trailer. Look, I'm sorry, but this game excited me when it was first announced for like a week.
This is going to have a huge fan base. I'm glad that they are bringing Metroid back. I'm glad that they're giving it the attention it deserves. But wake me up when Prime 4 comes out. I'm sorry. I would rather play a 3D Metroid game at this point. Like, this looks cool, but if there's one thing that the Switch isn't in shortage of, it's side-scrollers, 2D platformers, like Metroidvania-type games. This one will probably be better than like 90% of them. I'm sure it'll be a good game. But as somebody who's never been big into the Metroid franchise, I don't think this is going to be what like snatches me in. It's like, wow, look at this.
That's true. But you also just consider the logistics of that. It's easier to produce, develop, and release a 2D platformer than a 3D platformer.
All right, guys, don't get too excited here. Voice of Cards RPG heads to Switch in October.
Okay, I've prepared a 30-minute dissertation about how much I am looking forward to this game, so if you would bear with me for that amount of time.
All right, Dying Light. Mario Golf gets new characters and courses.
So they spun the pinwheel and it landed on
Ninja and Koopa Troopa.
Listen.
You
listen.
Leaped.
I leaped for Ninja because here, when has Ninja ever been a playable character in a Mario game? Ever. Do it. Look.
They just gave him his own segment on the pinwheel. It's okay. He's allowed in now.
Okay, Tyler, were you also thinking like, why did they not add Ninja to the Ninja Tour and Mario Kart Tour?
Yes and no, but at the same time,
Ninja's
I'm like,
cool though. I'm not dissing
Yeah.
Ninja. We were playing Mario Golf the other day, and he looks really neat. I like him. When I said that about the pinwheel, it's not a diss to any of these characters. It is. I'm happy to see them here.
You must apologize to all the Ninja fans right now, including me. I'm the president
Where is
of the
Monty
Ninja fan
Mole in Mario Golf? Come on.
He's coming, dude. There's more updates.
dude, I'm sure you just jinxed Monty Mole into Mario Golf.
And now they have an update where in the monthly tournament you can get a little sun visor for Monty Mole. They really care about his...
He needs to be protected from this. He's a pasty mole. Now there's also 2 other courses, which I forget. They revealed their names, but I think it's at the same course, which is different seasons.
Wait, which one did they port from Mario Odyssey into?
That was New Donk, but
City.
that was
No, I was joking. Like they didn't.
I thought you were being sarcastic for a second there.
But New Donk City is really fun in the game, so I can't even.
You have to play Mario Golf. It's so fun.
Yeah.
I know one of the courses is called Spiky Palms.
Yeah, Spiky Palms.
If they put Steam Gardens in it, I would love that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not.
Or the ones
Can't
from
lie.
Kingdom.
Yeah.
I feel like they've kind of like teased like what is to come. Like
They advertise the other Mario Odyssey kingdoms in like certain billboards and stuff.
Oh,
and
no kidding.
Yeah, like there's one for the Luncheon Kingdom.
Nice.
That I noticed. So if that's it for Mario Golf.
Yes.
Deltarune Chapter 2 makes its way to the Switch on
I
the
forgot
day of the
Deltarune was
Direct.
first of all, I forgot
Please
Deltarune
remember Undertale.
I forgot Deltarune was a thing, and I forgot that Toby was making a Chapter 2. But
I'm also hearing this is kind of controversial, but Chocobo Grand Prix brings a Final Fantasy racing game coming to the Switch in 2022.
Just what everyone wanted.
okay,
I'm hearing like a lot of people like are pretty controversial about this.
controversial in like what way? Like that?
I don't know. I just hear
I think
like
they're
it's
probably like you took Final Fantasy and made it into a card game. What the hell? Like, I mean, hey, I don't.
I hear it's Switch exclusive too.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I don't have anything against it, but then again, I'm not that invested in Final Fantasy, so.
Disco
it's good.
Disco Elysium.
No.
Age of Calamity's new expansion pass content.
Okay, that I can't give some insight to because I played the first pack with Eli, and I'm not gonna lie, pack 2's kind of lacking because considering the character, like in pack 1, you get the Master Cycle Zero as a weapon, you get a playable Guardian, you get these really cool flail weapons that are OP as hell, and then in this one you get the Engineers as playable characters, and then a little bit of a story expansion, and that's kind of it.
And
They didn't
new
decide-
stages like Coliseum and Kakariko Village.
Yeah,
Kakariko Village.
Cock.
Kakariko. So they didn't decide to add like the skeleton Bokoblin or something as a playable character.
They said one more. They didn't reveal the third character, but there is one more.
It's just gonna be like Lizalfo skeleton fights into Hyrule Warriors. Oh my god.
Disney Magical World 2 Enchanted Edition, which was a game on the 3DS, brings the magic of Disney onto the Switch.
Whereas
Kingdom Hearts?
with some of these games, it's like, oh, they have their fan base. You know what? Screw the stupid Disney game.
You hear that, Disney? You hear that? Screw your fan base.
Well, you know what I think of when I see Pac-Man?
What?
Chris Pratt.
Why? Why is that?
Guardians 2. And also the Mario movie.
Oh yeah, because they got Chris Evans to play Pac-Man, right?
In the Pac-Man movie?
Yeah, the Pac-Man movie.
Who's
The-
Mrs.
Boner
Pac-Man?
what?
Where Pixels? No, I'm sorry. I'm really grasping at straws here. Sorry for these
you
jokes.
mean Kevin James?
They're horrible. Pixels was a shitty movie.
Well,
man.
yeah, you know it's not going to be a shitty movie, this Mario movie, because they got good casting.
I mean,
Dude, they just got the latest cast from SNL.
What?
they're certainly famous people. If it's a mess, it'll be a very, very fun mess.
That's why I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy this either way. If it's awful, then I'm gonna love it. It's
Right.
gonna be amazing.
I think people figured like when they were going into the Sonic movie, like if it's a mess, they're gonna enjoy it. But like if it actually turns out to be good, which it did, then yeah. Personally, I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say that despite all the controversy, like oh Chris Pratt isn't Italian, first of all, like Illumination Studios is producing this movie. They do comedy. All their movies are comedy. Secret Lights of Pets, Sing, Despicable Me. So you need actors who can what?
No, I was gonna say you're just like Illumination does comedy, and then you started to name every sort of thing besides Minions, and I'm like, are we gonna bring up the Minions, or are they gonna be the unspoken atrocity?
What of Minion Rush?
Well, yeah. So
Mario Golf Minion Rush.
So it's just like you need actors who can do animated comedy, and if Chris Pratt has proven anything through the Lego Movie and onward, he does animated comedy, and I think that he's going to bring something interesting to the table. Other than that, I think like the rest of the cast kind of lines up. It's like it seems like it's meant to be.
I don't think that anybody was actually like offended that Chris Pratt isn't Italian.
Really, I went on Twitter. I went on Twitter.
That people were
Jacob.
just more like, why is he playing Mario? Because he really does not share any sort of characteristics, or like I don't know. Just is he going to be doing a crappy Italian accent? Is it going to be Jumanji? Is he going to be a grown man that's trapped in Mario's body? What is?
Here's okay. I'm fine with most of the cast. Charlie Day is Luigi. I mean,
Pretty good.
That's pretty good casting.
But here's the thing. No matter what you believe about the casting, the way that they dropped it was pretty much the most hilarious way possible they could have. And it's still a meme to, right now when we're recording it, because they're just casually like, Miyamoto's like, yeah, here's the cast. Chris Pratt, he's so cool. People are like, what the hell is going on? Chris Pratt is Mario? Like, that's, I don't know. It just came out of nowhere. So
is Anaya Taylor-Joy, is that how you pronounce it?
Anya
Yes.
Taylor-Joy.
I don't love her, but like she's been in a lot of great movies, and
she's a great actress, and I'm sure she'll be doing her whoa voice for Princess Peach.
This is the one that I am very just iffy about. Well, actually, one of two. Jack Black is Bowser. I mean,
yeah, because when you think of Bowser, you think of like.
No, I think of Jack Black. I think fuck it, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, motherfucker.
See, here's the thing. These are all good actors except for Seth Rogen. I mean, what? It's a good cast. It's just I don't know if it was what I would have expected of a Mario movie. But I mean, that's not a bad thing. I mean, maybe it'll be really funny? Question mark. But Charlie Day as Luigi is the best one, and you can quote me on that.
No. Keegan-Michael Key is Toad.
That's the other one.
They're gonna bring in an army of Keegan-Michael Keys. I'm telling you.
So who's gonna play Toadette?
It's gonna be Jordan Peele.
Where's Elon Musk as Wario? Where's Kevin Hart as Bowser Jr.?
Robert Downey Jr. as Waluigi.
Cranky Kong.
Waluigi
We have Cranky Kong getting represented.
Fred Armisen is going to be doing one of his eccentric voices as Cranky Kong.
Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek.
That's another one because when you think of Kamek, you think of and Kevin Michael Richardson is like Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 2012. I am the Shredder. I can't even do his voice justice, but it's low. It's a low voice, and like Kamek is high pitched.
And then Spike the Foreman by Sebastian.
Never heard of him.
Well,
I know Sebastian. He's the one that goes, "Who ordered the calamari?"
And then the voice of Mario himself, Charles Martinet. They're not having him voice Mario.
Is anyone surprised though? Because they're getting people in the theaters by being like, "Oh, it's Chris Pratt. I love Chris Pratt. Wholesome family man."
He's the funny Star-Lord guy.
Can I tell you something? This is gonna be dark as fuck. But I think they're just realizing if we cast Charles Martinet with our luck, he's gonna die right before he records his lines because of how old he is. So they're just choosing an actor who has a pretty high mortality rate right now.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that's part of it because everything is brutal practicality in the movie industry, but I feel like it's more so, hey, we'll put him in there, have him have one line in it to appease the classic fans so that we can put his name on there, and then for all the general audiences who don't even care about him and haven't heard his name, we'll put Chris Pratt, so they'll be like, yeah, I know that guy. I mean, it's not necessarily, it doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It just means it's a choice. It's certainly a choice, and it's a hilarious choice, and we'll see how it turns out.
I mean, Charles Martinet is only 66.
Oh, he looks way older than that.
Yeah, he's only 66.
Okay, then never mind. I take that back. I was thinking he was like in his 70s, 80s. It's funny. Do you think they're gonna pull like a Angry Birds movie and instead of like taking like elements that like create the fundamentals of the franchise, but like not actually have that be like the main story? Be like imagine like, do you think we're gonna get a Bowser kidnaps Princess Peach and Mario goes after her, or are we gonna get like something completely different?
I have no idea. The worst case scenario would be, like I said, like a Jumanji, where it's like, this man has loved Mario ever since he was a child. But when he and his friends reunite one fateful night, they all get sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom for a crazy adventure. That would be horrible. I don't think they're going to do that, though, luckily.
I'm waiting for the design. I want to see the designs of the characters.
That's what I thought they would drop, would be concept art. And, I mean, hey, they've shown they're going to be doing, like, semi-obscure references with Foreman Spike and all that. And Cranky Kong, so.
But where's Montimo? Where's Ninji?
King Babam?
Where's Cheep Cheep?
Where's Cheep Cheep?
Do you think Peach is gonna wear like a winter coat in this movie?
Wintertime Peach.
Either way, from everything that we've been given, I think that there's potential, but until I get a story synopsis and animation designs, I can't really say anything more about
That's
it because
gonna
it'll
be like
just
the make or break thing.
Exactly.
And, one would hope that it's not all just going to be like goofy fart joke Mario movie. That would kind of suck, but that's kind of what Illumination is known for, which, it's a kids movie. We're a bunch of 20-year-old guys sitting around being like, oh, why didn't they cast Charles Martinet in the Mario? Like,
You sound like you would be like sipping like a nice glass of Chardonnay while you're talking about why Charles Martinet wasn't cast.
Guess what? It's moved on. It's the next generation. These kids don't give a shit about it. Like, if we were growing up 10 years old, we would be excited out of our minds about this too. So hopefully they do it justice.
So what we do is we build a time machine and we go, oh wait, we can't go back to when we were 10 years old because there wasn't a Mario movie.
Actually, there was. We just don't talk about it.
Dude, the Mario. No, that was the Mario show.
That was the better Mario show.
Yeah, that was the better. Back in my day, all we had was a Super Mario Bros. Super Show and the Mario Bros. Movie. That's all.
It is so funny. I was talking with a couple of my film friends about the Mario movie, and they're like, what about the live action one? And my one friend just like turns around from her desk and she goes, we don't speak of it.
Why not, though? It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun in the most aggressive
Not to her.
way.
Apparently it is.
Have you seen the Goombas?
It's like, I don't know, 80s schlock at its finest. It was 80s, right? Not, what year was it?
93.
90? Oh, it was
93.
Okay, I was going to say late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. I always give that movie credit because it had the balls not even have Princess Peach and sub her in for Princess Daisy.
The balls to
The better
not give
choice.
to
Yeah.
not give a flying fuck about what any of the fans care about.
Right?
The better choice.
Well,
Luigi, it's 4 p.m.
time for your begging session. Let's freaking go. You know, it's funny. I also forgot, though it's not part of the Nintendo Direct, I want to know if you wanted to touch briefly on Mario Kart Tour. I guess we really don't have to because other than the fact that we can just mention that it's celebrating its
it's
second
wait.
anniversary.
Oh no, he's
Did
gonna.
Did they add a
there we go.
guy with an outfit like a was it a fall Rosalina and her wand instead of a star at the end? It's like a little maple leaf or something.
We're not there yet, but we will get there. Promise you, we will get
We
there.
did get. What was the new character we just got?
It was
Kamek?
Kangaroo Yoshi.
Kangaroo Yoshi.
He has boxing gloves and he's so cute.
What? That, I mean, how could you hate a kangaroo Yoshi? That sounds.
You can.
But I mean, it's been 2 years since the original drop of
Yeah.
Mario Kart Tour, and 2 years since Dom lost his $40 in the mall.
Oh
So
my gosh.
Wait.
Oh.
Didn't I hear the legendary King Boo story about you though?
yeah,
We've all lost money.
I haven't. I've just spent it on other useless, stupid things.
They make Zelda Kart Tour.
No, a Zelda mobile game would be not ideal. I think they're supposed to be working on one right now, which I can wait. I could wait a long time.
Do you think Nintendo's gonna have the balls to add like non-Mario characters to Mario Kart Tour, like they did with Mario Kart 8
No.
Deluxe? No, you don't
Depends
think so?
on
They
licensing.
would have done it by now.
That is true.
You underestimate. Maybe a year from now they're like, guys, we're not making bajillion dollars off it anymore. They're like, fuck it, add Link.
I mean, we didn't get Dr. Link in Dr. Mario World because they're shutting that down.
They're
Rest in peace.
they're gonna
He
add
didn't take his medicine, did he, Tyler? He's freaking
Well,
doctor.
at the
How
same
ironic
old-
is that?
Skyward Sword Link render into Mario Kart Tour a year from now. Mark my words.
Well, sorry to cut this conversation short, but we actually are on a pretty tight time constraint because we're going to be seeing the greatest animated movie to ever grace the 1980s.
The Emoji Movie.
The Emoji Movie, yes. Starring Charles Martinet.
Pratt.
But anyways, the next time you will hear our voices is when after October 5th when we cover the final Sakurai Presents, which is going to be a very sad day.
We've done this at the end of like every podcast, but do you guys want to do yet again another quote unquote final prediction for the Smash Direct?
I'm done predicting him. The only thing I will say is that when Game Explain pitched the idea of having the 4 champions, because this is Zelda's year, I feel like it would make sense to have a Zelda rep be the final one. Not against it, but I'm done predicting because I just am never right.
I'd prefer Skull Kid.
Sure.
But wait, I have to pull up this.
No, Jacob, we're on a timer.
But real quick.
No.
I just wanted to... Dom, please.
No.
Please.
Don't maybe get the whip.
Somebody created this little thing that had 6 potential people for the final thing that I think
It's
are
not
the 6
Rayman.
best-
It's not
best
Hollow
options.
Knight.
It's not going to be Rayman, even though that would be my absolute favorite pick. Somebody put Waluigi, Phoenix Wright, the Knight from Hollow Knight, Doomslayer, Crash Bandicoot, or Rayman.
I don't even know how Phoenix Wright would even fit into that.
I don't, but it would be awesome. Any of those I would be very content with. I think that those are some of the best contenders. And
Or let me just put a card down on the table. A Fire Emblem character.
if it's Fire Emblem or Sora, it will. I would.
Wait. You're saying if they put Sora from Kingdom Hearts, you would be against that?
I would be against that. Obviously, that's 100 times better than a Fire Emblem character. But Kingdom Hearts does not fit with Smash at all. And honestly, I don't even think it's a very great video game franchise. So
It's a fine franchise for somebody who's played a good chunk of the games, but at the same time, it's not fitting at all. Like
fair.
Kingdom Hearts, I think I discussed this in another episode. Kingdom Hearts, you think of Disney characters. Let's be honest. I don't think of Sora. I don't think of any of the other anime protagonist characters that...
you don't want a Winnie the Pooh spirit that you can get to go on the story.
I don't want Big Hero 6, Winnie the Pooh, Monsters, Inc.
But I'll just predict again and say, yeah, it'll be Waluigi, right? Right, guys?
Wah.
Right.
That's a good indifferent, like, it's not yes, it's not no. It's wah.
Wah.
Yeah.
Wah.
Wah.
All right, I think this is a good time to...
This is a good time to cut it off.
Before we bring up anything else, because we need to go.
Yes.
Yep.
I think that's about it. I was impressed with the Nintendo Direct. I know Jacob enjoyed stuff. Tyler, you enjoyed stuff. I don't mean to speak for you, but I'm generally speaking.
I would give it a solid 1 thumb up.
1 thumb up out of not 2.
I gave this 2, but I would give it a solid 1 thumb up.
I'll give it a solid. It's good.
Okay. Well, anyways, guys, if you like what you've listened to and you want more, subscribe to Verzi Editz for more content like this. I know it's been a while. I didn't even address that because we really didn't have time to, but I promise more content will be coming out in the fall. Thank you for your continued patience, and also thank you for 500 subscribers.
And thank you for the $60 for our podcast episodes.
Yes, sir. As always, I'm Dom.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Jake.
And remember, the last fighter could be you.
So long, paisanos.